Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Getting Leathered with Hayden and Mike. And Mike, welcome back. It's been a while since we've done this show, and obviously it's we've been missing it. So we said, hey, let's definitely pull in today.
100%. I think so. It's good to be back. It's good to be having this conversation again. Time to let's break the scores now. Now we need to pull away.
We do, and not forgetting sportsbets.io as well. We'll be discussing some potential matchups for this weekend. In fact, tonight, there'll be fights going on. So, for those that are watching this, definitely put in your bets tonight. Obviously, the link is in the bio of the video. First up, we have a female bout, a rematch between Michaela Meyer and Sandy Ryan. Highly anticipated. The first one was an unfortunate majority decision win to Michaela Meyer. And
Unfortunate.
there is unfortunate, yes. And I think the audience knows where we're going with this. I've obviously picked for the fight Sandy Ryan to go to the United States and get a victory. You've gone with the favorite, let's say, in the bout, Michaela Mayer. What's your thoughts going into this?
Listen, the betting odds at the moment they dead even. So like let's calm the talk about favors and underdogs and all of that. I think it's gonna be a good fight. It'll be a good fight, but I think Michaela May is just she's too slick, baby. She's too slick. So I think she's going to put on a good performance. And then I think, if I'm predicting right, she calls out Baumgartner for a rematch, who's recently now signed with MVP. So, I mean, that could, listen, there's talk, things can happen. I know they're talking about Lauren Price as a fight as well. I think Price, she's got what, 3 belts now, and so it would be, and Michaela would be coming in with 1. So, could be a good fight to make as well. But I think Michaela Meyer gets past this comfort. Let me ask you a question. You
Yeah.
remember the first fight? There was that situation with the paint attack. She thought it was Michaela Meyer's team and what. But at that point, it was like it didn't affect her. She wasn't making any excuses. It had nothing to do with it. But a lot of this build-up, the talk has been about that. Obviously she was thrown with the paint few hours before the fight and obviously it had an effect on her and that sort of thing. So are you backing Ryan because you're thinking she's coming in with a more, more focused performance?
I think,
Or do you just,
look, I mean, they both fought at really high level, right? I mean, if we're looking at Sandy Ryan, we also got to take into the fact that she's had a lot less fights, so she's the fresher fighter between the two. She hasn't won in America before, so that's a bit of a concern of mine. You know, she had the draw against Jessica McCaskill. She also had a majority decision loss in the last fight against Michaela Mayer. But what's giving me a little bit of confidence is the Terry Harper results, where she defended successfully her WBO welterweight world title. That's what's kind of got into this, and I think that whole incident before the fight definitely plays a role going into this one. I think she'll be a lot more focused. Of course, the last one took place in New York City, which also, I mean, that's also a hustle bustle type city. This one's in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a lot at stake here, but I think she finally gets over the line in the United States, and Sandy Ryan wins back her WBO welterweight world title. What do you think about that?
are you thinking that's why the odds are so dead even? Like, are you thinking the bookies know something we don't know?
I think, yeah.
Off
Well,
air, we were saying, you
look
were
at the
saying
first fight.
Michaela May should be the favorite,
But
but
the first fight, a majority decision with Sandy Ryan obviously being mentally affected before the fight in the first one. Maybe just maybe she can pull over the line. But it all comes down to also preparation. There's a lot of different variables and factors that go into it. But I feel as though being the fresher fighter, she has an edge in this one.
yeah, I would like to see Meyer come through, and I'd really like to see that Baumgartner rematch. I think that would be the Baumgartner rematch, Michaela Meyer on an MVP card with look at it, obviously not the Serrano Taylor fight, but there's talk as well that if Taylor's still hungry um, after the Serrano fight, that they could make that a potential, which I think would be a great. Listen, there's some really good fights that could be made. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. And I do think that the MVP. Did you see that thing about Amanda Serrano? Because now people say, "Oh, that now that MVP signed Baumgartner, he's already looking at a replacement for, and people were trying to obviously speak bad about like Jake Paul and that, but then Serrano came in saying, she's had her moment in the limelight, and while she's still doing things in women's boxing, she's still fighting big fights and stuff. She's quite happy to have someone else also come in and take the reins, and also get something out of all and that sort of thing, which I think was just quite cool from Serrano. I think building something, and they're doing a lot for women's boxing, which is also fantastic. And Serrano as a ambassador going, I mean, I think she's going to do a lot of good as well for that. But I think we spoke about it in our last episode about the Serrano Taylor fight. I don't. I would have much rather liked to have seen the Michaela Meyer Baumgartner Marshall rematch. Also, could be quite something as well. So. But yeah, I'm sticking with Meyer, and I think I'm putting another 1-0 there on you in this regard. So let's see.
Yeah, we're currently, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 2-2 coming into this episode. So of course, I look forward to going 4-2 because we
Two.
have two disagreements and one agreement. We're discussing three fights today. Um, so yeah. I'll move over, Mike, to the next one because obviously the female boxing is going to be a really exciting feature of the night. The next one I want to talk about is, of course, the event that takes place in Japan. Of course, this is the second time, and of course, this venue got broken in on a world title, IBF world title at the junior flyweight division. It's now going to be contesting at the IBF for the IBF flyweight world title between Angel Ayala Lardizabal, and he'll be coming up against Masamichi Yabuki. Yabuki, of course, he won against Sivanati Shinga at this exact venue at the light flyweight division. Of course, that's who you've picked. You've picked Masamichi Yabuki. I gave you the option of who you'd like to pick, and you went for him. And it's a really good pick. He's a really strong power puncher. But I've of course gone from Angel Ayala Lardizabal from Mexico. Okay, give me your reasons why you've gone for Masamichi Yabuki, Mike.
Listen, Yabuki, like you say, he's a good power puncher. He's look, I like him. I didn't we do a live watch on that Cincinnati, or did we speak about it afterwards? I think we maybe spoke about it
Well,
afterwards, but that was devastating.
can
Let's be honest.
I
That
tell you
was
something? We definitely didn't do a live because I was there in person.
oh, we tried to do a live. Oh no, I'm thinking of when Laduma Lamati went over.
Yes, 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 to Ireland.
I remember we did a live for that one. Okay, yeah. But yes, we were devastated. That was yeah. So I felt bad picking Yabuki just based on that result. I felt like I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? But I look at that Lardizabal. Didn't he beat? Didn't he?
Wait, say that again. You just went out?
Sorry, I'm saying that Lardizabal. He beat Buthelezi in was it East London?
Lardizabal. No,
How do you say that? Lardazibal.
he's never fought Buthelezi before.
No, man. No, not Lardazibal. Sorry, he fought. I was saying his most notable wins was that Dave Apollinario or whatever, and that Oak fought Buthelezi
Right.
But if you look at the rest, he's like, he hasn't really fought anybody of like.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. How dare you
What?
speak about my guy like that? How dare you?
No, man. I'm not. I'm saying like, look at him. He hasn't like been really tested. Whereas like, look,
Bro.
Yabuki, he stopped Taraji. Okay, Taraji stopped him, but like he's been in with some heavy hitters, some big names. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Sivanati Shinga, that's not on your belt. Let's be honest. However, you try to cut it so slightly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Can
thinking
I
it's got some
quickly?
kind of advantage.
Hmm. Sorry, finish. Make your case. Make your case. Home ground
No, I'm
advantage.
not making a case. I'm just saying his most notables was Felix Alvarado. Okay.
Oof, that's a huge name. Felix Alvarado. I mean, you remember what
It's
Alvarado
a
did?
huge name, but I'm saying on his like roster. You know what I'm saying? Like
Felix Alvarado
he's
also
not
beat,
battle worn, if that makes.
Felix Alvarado also beat South Africa's DJ Creel as well for the IBF World title.
Yeah, okay, that's saying most notable is Felix Alvarado, yes. But apart from that, he hasn't really been in. I don't think he's been tested. I think the only thing is really maybe the age. Back to what I think Yabuki's what 34, 30 something. He's 30 something. So
Yeah, your bookie's a bit older.
I'm going with old Yabuki. Eh?
Yeah, your bookie's the older, and then Lardizabal's 24 years old. He's fresh. He's coming up. You know, he took that IBF flyweight title off the hands with a sixth round knockout of Dan Apollonero, who you mentioned earlier, who beat Buthelezi.
That
He's beaten
sport.
Felix
Yeah,
Alvarado by unanimous decision, and I think Japan's got fair judging, and that's why I've got confidence that when you, as a world champion, when you go to Japan, that you're going to be given a fair decision, and that's why I think he'll
yeah.
beat Masamichi Yabuki by unanimous decision. That's my opinion, and
You think like okay? You think points?
I think points, yeah, because remember,
He
Lardizabal is
hasn't really got a
exactly a
lot of.
knockout
He
guy.
doesn't have stopping power. Would you say he's got stopping power?
No, he doesn't have like massive power. He's got eight knockouts in his 18 wins. He's 18 and 0. But I don't think you're gonna wanna, for example, like I know he's a Mexican boxer, right? But what it tends to suggest that if he's got eight knockouts in his 18 wins, and Masamichi Yabuki's got 16 wins by knockout in his 17 wins, are you really gonna want to mix it up with Masamichi Yabuki? Probably not. You're probably gonna try box him and be a bit smarter, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I think home ground, Yabuki coming off a nice win. He's been in with some good opponents. I think we're going to pull a 2-0 just up to this point now, So what will we be? We'll be 4-2 before the next fight. So, yeah, this could hurt you. This could hurt you. Just saying.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'll be happy to collect a 4-2 for next weekend's episode. Mike, we did agree on this last one. We picked three fights for this weekend. We just couldn't come to. I mean, we could come to an agreement on this one, which was William Zepeda against Tevin Farmer. We thought that, and it's also the fact that it's in Mexico as well. We both went for William Zepeda, thinking that he'd win quite comfortably there. Would you agree with winning comfortably?
Yeah, I think so. Again, I think it's the age gap. He's 34 and I would say the Zepeda's 28. Um, and he beat Farmer. Was it not split decision? I think unanimous decision or split decision. They lost fight and that. So
Yeah, it was a split
yeah,
decision in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think Farmer's at the tail end of his career now, and I don't anticipate much. I think that's why we both sort of went that way because you couldn't. I suppose you could make an argument, you could make a case for Farmer. Obviously, I mean, that's boxing at the end of the day, but it should be a comfortable win.
But doesn't that show you the quality? Because Zepeda coming before the Saudi fights, right, against Tevin Farmer, William Zepeda was seen as like a sort of astronomical favorite in that instance. And Tevin Farmer, like he brought back like not the old Tevin Farmer, but like signs that he was still like decent on a good level. I mean, he had just fought Raymond Muriatella just before that as well. He lost on a unanimous, but he still, I mean, you're fighting guys that are really good. And Farmer was also like, he's also you'd say past his prime, but he's still got something in the tank.
Well, yeah, he brings experience, 100%. He brings experience in that. But like, do you think when he came in the first time round and he was considered not largely an underdog, but he was obviously considered an underdog? Yeah, he obviously put a lot of effort into it and that he to a split decision. But do you think that he would have enough motivation to what I mean, to step up now to really come and down to the point? Or do you think he's just sort of like he fought to a split decision, he put so much into that, it's now more not day, but it's now more just the let's say tail end, getting what you can out of the sport type of thing. I mean, his ambitions can't be huge, or do you think they could still be huge?
Well, I mean, looking at his career, he did come from, I think he was like 7 wins and 4 losses in his career, or something like that at some point, or 12 wins and 4 losses, and he managed to still become a world champion. So I don't know, his motivation could be different, like a lot of guys in that position
Mm.
just simply like crumble and quit and become journeymen, and not for him, and that's what's difficult. But you almost feel like the young Zepeda is a little bit more better positioned mentally. He's the undefeated fighter. Not that undefeated always means that he's a better fighter, but like you know, it just in this instance, I think that career-wise and where they are at,
where they are at, yeah.
yeah, you maybe think that Tevin Farmer might be. It's harsh to say it cash out, but like, trying to make the most at the end of his career.
Well, that's what I was saying, yeah. So look, I still think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be quite a technical fight, be a good fight. But in terms of picking, I can't see a lot for Zepeda. But as we said, it's boxing and anything can happen. But I still think by the end of the boxing weekend, I'll be 4-2 up. So yeah.
Well, your betting slip, obviously, you're gonna have to let me pick the guys first next week, huh?
100%. No stress.
We'll do a coin toss. Okay, lovely. So we'll see next weekend. It's either going to go like this, either going to be 4-2 to me, 4-2 to you, or 3-3. It's either one of those results.
Either one of those, yeah. But
Yeah,
the betting odds, the 4-2 to me. So yeah, let's put that out there right now.
definitely not. What you but
The days of being in La La Land are over, my friend. They're
can I tell
over.
you, there was that one weekend where we picked like we both picked the same guy, and forgot who it was, an obvious win, and the guy lost. Do you
Yeah,
remember
you
that?
see, you get that, but now I can't remember because there's a few of those. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we've had a few shockers.
We've had a few. But listen, not shockers, not shockers. I
When we
mean,
agree, we typically get a shocker.
generally speaking, yeah, generally
Okay,
speaking.
okay, okay. Let me go on to our last boxing topic. When I say boxing topic, because we at the end of the show we're going to do our Super Saturday picks for the Premier League, so people must still tune in for that. Don't jump off because you're coming here just for the boxing. Enjoy our full episode in all its glory. Um, last one, right? I want to pick up two fights. We're probably going to be talk more in detail, but let's just acknowledge the fact that these things are happening. Two events happening abroad for South African fighters. We have Rourke versus Bakary Samake, who is a nice fight in France. It'll happen in Paris. And then, of course, you got Azinga Fuzile, and he's going to Kazakhstan. I just forgot the guy's name. Let me double check the guy's name and not give him that harsh treatment of not knowing his name. Uh, yeah, it doesn't help when I did that. Let me go and see what's happening here. Azinga Fuzile goes to Kazakhstan, and he's actually fighting next weekend,
Sultan
Mike.
Zorbek.
That's it.
Sultan Zorbek.
Sultan
Yeah.
Zarbek. Yes. In the land of Gennady Golovkin. That's what's going on there. Um, I don't know much about him, but I know that it's going to be a tough fight because you can't get to 19-0 in Kazakhstan and not be a good fighter.
Yeah. No, look, I think that will be a tough fight. But hey, listen, Fuzile is not no slouch. I mean, if anyone can do it, I think he definitely can. I guarantee you, he'll be putting on a good performance. And isn't it great to see our guys getting these opportunities? I know we'll touch in more in depth on it maybe on another episode in that, but like this World Grand Prix and Keaton Gomes and all these guys that are being signed up for that,
Yes.
it's going to be so phenomenal. It's brilliant. It really, really is brilliant. And I see Aquila's announced their next journey. I think it's June. I think it was June, but they've announced another one.
Sure.
Um, so there's just lots is happening, which is great. So it's good to see. Yeah.
There is a lot happening, and as a spectator, Mike, because that's the most important part is that people come out and watch the boxing as well. Are you attending any of the events?
I will definitely the next Aquila one, 110%. I'm going to try and get there to the Sunbet because I
Legacy.
don't know if we should say, but we're going to be filming a bit of a Bulls Loftus episode. I've
Hey,
got a lot of tricks up my sleeve for that one, but yeah, I'd like to go to the Sunday, the Kevin's one. That's on the first, I think. If I'm not, I think it's a public holiday as well.
the 1st of May. Of course, I'm not going to be there. I'm away for that event, but SA Boxing Talk will
Someone has to represent.
SA Boxing Talk will have presence. Are you nominated? I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Maybe you are nominated.
But
Um,
no, I'd like to get to that one. But
yeah. It's definitely not one to miss. Kevin Lerena probably, I don't know how much opportunity you'll have to see him boxing in South Africa. You see him an international boxer. So that's definitely a great opportunity. Plus a stacked undercard as well. But that also we'll talk about
Yeah,
another day. We'll go into depth about all of this. I just wanted to touch
we
briefly
can
on it.
definitely make a nice episode based on all of that. But listen, I wanted to ask you the Rourke Knapp fight. Will that be on SuperSport?
I'm pretty sure it'll be on SuperSport considering he's a Golden
That's
Gloves
been
fighter.
announced yet. They haven't said it is.
No, it
They
hasn't.
haven't made an announcement yet. Okay. That'll be a good one to watch as well if we can. That's 22nd April, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's 2nd April in that year. Okay. So listen, some good stuff coming up. Good to see our local guys getting opportunities. I think that Grand Prix is gonna be good
Oh,
fun.
can't
I
wait for the
really
draw.
can't wait. That's gonna be so awesome now. So lots of coverage things that we're gonna be doing, which is great.
Yes, yes, yes. No, I'm happy about that. I think some weekends are like this one where, obviously it's better when there's a local guy that fights overseas because, you know, I'm one that always puts it on the local. I know Mark, you like to go against our local guys and foot bets on them.
What the hell? What are you talking about?
I remember you in the Getting Leathered League, firmly going against our locals.
Can you prove it? Okay, but listen. Your heart says one thing, your betting mind says another thing. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. We've all had those moments. It happens. It's
It happens. It's
the
life.
world of betting, I guess. Eh? Ah,
Yes. Okay. Okay. So we'll talk about that more in depth. I think for now, we're just alerting people to the fact that there are fights happening overseas. Next week, we'll talk about the Azinga Fuzile fight because that is next weekend
yes. So we can cover it
results.
more in depth. There.
I can already say I'm putting my money on Azinga Fuzile. I'm just gonna say it now. Um,
I'll take one for the team and put on the Kazakh.
well, I expected no less from you.
Ah!
I expected no less. Okay. I'm wearing my green, so I'm in support of South Africa. Always. I'll bring my South African jersey for the next episode. Um, all right, we're gonna finish with the Super Saturday. Do you have your picks in front of you?
Yeah, I didn't pick the from the whole games. I picked for just chose a couple of random games where I thought the odds were pretty good.
Okay.
And but I mean, I can open up
Let's see
the
what you
list.
got.
That's
We'll compare the fights that you have to
are
the
we
ones
talking Premier League now or the FA Cup, the Prem?
Prem for this weekend.
Yeah, I
Um,
think we pretty much went the same way,
okay,
with the exception of one or two. So you went Arsenal, Fulham. I think you went Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken.
that's correct. I went Arsenal to beat Fulham.
Yeah. So I would have gone Arsenal as well. Wolves, West Ham, I would say Wolves.
Wolves, I went for Wolves.
Nottingham Forest United.
I went for Nottingham
That's a
Forest.
tricky one. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't have hesitation. I went Nottingham Forest.
Really?
Not even a hesitation.
Yeah.
Espirito Santo is on a mission at the moment, and Ruben Amorim has been one of the worst managers in United history, according to results. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but
No. I get you. Yeah.
yeah.
But I'll go United on that one. Yeah.
You're actually going United on that one. Why would
Yeah, I think.
why? Oh, that's like putting your money on
And they're
Tottenham.
finding a little bit of form, let's be honest.
That's like putting your money on Tottenham. I mean, that's the inside joke. Mark's a Tottenham supporter. I mean, it's not like a secret. He put on one of the previous episodes. Okay.
uh,
Next up,
Bournemouth, Ipswich.
I
Bournemouth.
went for Bournemouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Bournemouth at home. The Cherries. Come on.
Let's
Pick up
go.
yourself.
Let's go. And then Man City versus Leicester. I went Man City.
Oh, wait, who did you go for Villa Brighton?
Did I put that on my list?
Did you miss that one?
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I did nine. I missed that one.
You missed that. Okay, who would you have gone, Brighton or Villa?
Villa.
Yeah, I would say Brighton.
Okay. No, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Could
Wait,
be
who's playing at
Leicester.
home? Who's playing at home?
Brighton.
I'll change to Brighton.
Mm. Home ground.
Home ground, yeah.
City, Leicester, City.
City, definitely City, yeah.
This is a good one. Newcastle, Brentford will be a cracker.
I've gone for Newcastle. I'll tell you why. They are riding a hot streak of form. They beat the best team in Europe last or the weekend before last. So I've got to go with them. You know, they got the best striker. They got one of the best strikers in the world, Alexander Isak, who he's some serious stuff.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, Newcastle. I just don't agree with you about being the best team in Europe, but yeah, we can go to okay. So yeah, Newcastle for sure. Southampton, Palace.
I went for Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
looked
yeah.
at dead bottom of the log Southampton and I just couldn't.
Yeah, I go Palace or draw maybe. Hey, this is where it gets crazy. These guys at the bottom all of a sudden play like prime Real Madrid and
But they
stuff
all look like
because
they're in
they're fighting
relegate, like in
relegation.
stiff relegation. Between 17 and 20, I think they're only competing for that place. I think
Yeah,
from 16 upwards, it's like almost impossible for them to get relegated.
yeah,
Just because it's United, Chelsea, who are like, battling it out for 15th and no, not Chelsea, sorry, Tottenham, who are battling
yeah.
out for 15. I think you guys are 15 or 14 and you 16.
I don't know. I'll have to check.
My fingers are so sore from scrolling.
No, no, listen, we're far down, but I can't see us being relegated. I mean, unless something really drastic happens, but even then, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, Ange Ball's so good. All right. Okay, where are we at next?
Liverpool, Everton, big
Merseyside,
derby.
Merseyside derby. I'll have to go forever. I'm joking. Liverpool. Uh,
Ah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no, I think Liverpool. And then
Comfortable.
the big one, the big derby, baby.
The North
Chelsea
London derby.
Spurs. Yeah.
Well, it's a North London derby. I don't think it's the North London derby.
It's
Or
not, nah, I wouldn't say,
who did
but
you go for?
I think Chelsea pulls a fast one, I
Wait,
must
what do you mean
say.
you think Chelsea? Did you not put it down?
No, I haven't put it down yet. I told you I bet on the FA Cup, the sevens, because the Premier League is only on Tuesday. So
It's only
I
on
haven't
Tuesday.
locked in the bet yet. This weekend's
Uh,
was the FA Cup and all of that.
Listen,
So,
I hope you don't
but yeah,
take offense. I did pick Chelsea.
no, because I'm picking Chelsea as well. So I can't. What can I do? You know what I'm saying?
I think even any sensible person goes Chelsea on this one. I think Tottenham's form this season has just been so horrid that you can't with certainty. Although they'll pitch up against like a decent team and play well.
But that's what I'm saying to you. I think our Europa form is like I think that's the only possibility of a trophy. But I mean, I can't see it anyway. But our Premier League form is terrible. I think we're on 15 losses already. I mean, it's the worst in our club's history, for Pete's sake. And I think I got to be honest with you. I think even if
I'm not
Postecoglou wins a
mistaken, Mike.
trophy,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go onto sportsbet.io and predict when if managers are getting sacked for the season.
I is that an option though? Because I know there is
I
some places
think I
that
saw
give you
that.
the odds for that.
I think I did see that. I mean, you can even vote for who's going to be the next presidents of countries.
I've seen. Okay, I haven't seen it on Sportsbet, but in that with that platform, I'm pretty certain they do something like that.
Pretty sure I saw
But
that. I mean, look, I could be wrong.
they saw. I know the views are shortened when Daniel Levy was found having coffee with Pochettino at last week. I think it was.
So what do you think? Do you think that Angie survives?
No, I think even if he lifts the trophy in the Europa League, I still don't think that saves his. That might save him till the end of the season,
Has Tottenham
but
ever
I
lifted a
can't.
European trophy?
Eh?
Has Tottenham ever lifted a European trophy?
No, the last trophy we won was the Audi Cup,
The
and
preseason trophy. Oh, you can't, you can't.
hey, it's a trophy. Thank you
That's
very
a
much.
trophy. That's a participation medal. What you talking about? You can't be serious.
No, but I'm saying like, yeah, but look, I think it could be. I mean, there's a possibility, but I think it's still a far possibility. But it is a possibility nonetheless. But I don't think it saves his job. I think by the end of the season, I think Postecoglou's gone, and I think Levy's probably already worked on who might replace him, whether it's um how do you say it? Not Iriola or Riola or
Oh, that
whatever
other, yeah, he's from
from
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, that's going by what you read, and there's a possibility of Pochettino coming back. But I mean, it's obviously you don't. It's all hearsay, but I do think there'll be a change come the end of the season. I can't see, but the football's just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
Wait, I actually want to pull up the Premier League table right now. I want to see where we at because I feel as though, man, this table needs to extend beyond the top 10. We
If
are.
you look at the table,
Okay, you guys are
Liverpool
in
are obviously
fourth.
on
I mean,
top.
that's probably a highlight. 14th on the log. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but if you look carefully there, we're 14th on the log, right? But we are tied with points to 16th place, which is West Ham on 30.
Luckily you got a
So
better goal difference.
yeah, so that's what I was saying to you. Even I think points. I think it's possible points wise, mathematically, because the jump from Ipswich, which is in relegate, is 17 points to 34 points. So like we could probably finish like in 17th type of thing, but
Yeah.
we ain't enough to not be.
Gee, I mean
But
that's like almost 2 weeks without the Premier League. So you said the FA Cup's this weekend.
FA Cups this weekend, yeah, and then next week Tuesday is Premier.
Oh, it's so nice that Liverpool can get a break for once. Jeez, they got knocked out of the
Well, not
top.
2 weeks. It's what 4 days.
Yeah, but it's a nice rest for some of the teams that are not involved in the competition.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well,
But
there we have it. Super Saturday is in. I mean, it was kind of all over the place because of the sort of how the fixtures are lined up. So it is a little bit difficult to kind of score a Super Saturday this week. But at least our picks, we sort of getting towards where we're going to go. I can't personally wait in some weeks to come. Obviously, Mike did allude to a really exciting episode coming up really cool soon. That it's going to be cool, I should say. And we got a lot to talk about the WBC Grand Prix, a couple of international bouts for our guys. And of course, one thing we can talk about in the coming weeks has been who's the number one boxer in South Africa. That's going to be an interesting conversation as well. That stirred up a lot of debate.
I've definitely stirred up a lot of debate. I'm happy to have these debates, and it's going to start getting heated because these tournaments are going to start coming in thick and fast. You and I are going to start disagreeing, and don't think I'm going to go easy on you when I'm like 5, 6, 7 ahead of you. So
I mean, should we end it when I'm like 10 points ahead of you, or like are you comfortable taking the beating?
it's going to take you a long time to get to 10 points ahead.
The way we're going is September time, eh?
Yeah.
I think. Well, we're 2-2. I don't know how you managed to be level with me at this point of the competition, but you've managed to hold on. I
I
gave
don't know how I let you draw with me. That's a shocker.
I gave you an early lead, and I've always just given you the right to pick first, and I think that's also wrong.
Shit. Yeah, yeah. Anybody watching this right now can be like, this Hayden, this guy. Right? But
Yeah.
listen, I just want to add in, like, please, guys, Sportsbet.io, click that link, sign up, speak to this man over here, whichever way you're situated. He'll give you a little something, something. Just, I promise you, you do it once, that bug will bite. We're talking only Premier League, but like this weekend, there's rugby sevens, there's cricket, there's the rugby championship. There's so much happening, and it's just so much fun, like to check the different things and that sort of thing, and it's like to do that. So please, I encourage you, click that link, speak to this man, get a small something, and you'll be hooked straight away. And just back my bets, not his, because otherwise, yeah,
I was,
you'll
I was about
be.
to say, if you're watching, listen to you only for the last 2 minutes where you're encouraging people to come online because they can literally I'll give you something to begin your journey and get started. But if you've watched the rest of the episode and only logged in at this point, just forget about what Mike said. Follow my predictions, and you'll be well on your way to a nice life.
Yeah, I'm gonna send my ticket to you, and we're gonna do start calculating. It's not gonna count to the boxing, no, but we're gonna start calculating. And I'm telling you,
I'm
those
winning.
crispy Mandelas are just gonna keep coming my way, baby. And the Oaks are gonna join me, Team Soldier Boy, and that's all she wrote, baby. That's all she wrote.
I just don't. You know that at the end of the day, like the only bet that you've not picked the favorite on. Have you ever not picked the favorite? Let's put it that way.
Often. Hey, listen. I do my homework, okay? I do my homework. Everton's looking juicy this for this derby. Just saying.
Yeah, I was thinking about Tottenham. I just don't want to lose. That'll be the one that upsets the apple cart.
Okay, but we spoke about that. Tottenham can play dreadful and then play City and go and thump them 3-0. That's the reality. That's the reality. So Everton, if you're listening, put on a performance, baby.
Everton, if
Put
you're
on a performance.
listening. Yeah, Everton, if you're listening. Yeah, Jurgen, I mean not Jurgen, Arnie, if you're listening. It's just do one for me and everyone that predicted Liverpool to win.
But
Yeah.
listen, are you going to watch any of the Hong Kong sevens and that?
Um, well, I'm doing the post-fight interviews tonight for the Warriors Ascent WBC Africa events
Okay.
with Jason Meddy. So I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to have the opportunity to watch, but I'll catch the highlights because I always do that. I'll do a catch up on Supersport for the highlights.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, please click that link, get a little some,
Some kachink.
and
All right, we got 1 minute left on the clock. I'd like to say thank you for everyone that did watch and watched it right through to the end. From both myself and Mike, big thank you. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future. Obviously, tune in because we got the official history and record of me doing the better predictions here and going up 4-2 by next weekend.